So when you put your money into the stock market, you're placing a massive amount of trust in the system, right? But what's really holding all that trust together? Who's making sure the game isn't rigged against you? Well, in India, that guardian is SEBI, and it was created by the SEBI Act. Let's dig into how it all works.
I mean, it's a question every single investor has thought about at some point. You put your savings into a company, you hope it does well, but what's the safety net? What's really stopping a company from just cooking the books, or some big-shot insider from using secret info to get rich while you lose out?
You know, it might be hard to believe, but there was a time when the Indian stock market was kind of like the Wild West. The rules were vague, oversight was pretty minimal, and for the average person, it was a huge risk. This kind of environment just wasn't going to build confidence in the market. Something had to change.
And that big change came in 1992. The Indian Parliament passed the SEBI Act, which officially created the Securities and Exchange Board of India, or as we all know it, SEBI. You can think of this as the moment a referee was finally put on the field, with a clear rule book and, most importantly, the power to blow the whistle.
And SEBI's mission isn't just some fancy corporate tagline. It's literally written into the law. The preamble of the act lays it out plain and simple. Its whole reason for being is to do three things: protect investors, that's you, help the market grow, and regulate it to make sure everything is fair and square.
Okay, so having a mission is great, but how does SEBI actually make sure people follow the rules? What can this guardian really do? Well, this is where the act gives SEBI some serious teeth. We're talking about real powers to keep the entire market in line.
So if SEBI gets a whiff of something fishy, it can launch a full-blown investigation. And this is not just a polite phone call. They have the power to demand internal company records, to go through their financial books with a fine-tooth comb, and even to summon company directors and employees to be questioned under oath. And at the end of it all, they can issue orders that are legally binding.
And this power is no joke. The law is crystal clear. SEBI can inspect any book, any register, any document of any listed company. This isn't a request they can say no to. It's a legal command. This power of inspection is pretty much the foundation of all transparency and accountability in the market.
Now, these powers aren't just for those big dramatic investigations you read about. They're actually the backbone of a huge rule book that governs how the market works every single day. This is how SEBI tries to stop problems from ever happening in the first place. Think of these regulations as the actual tools that SEBI uses. For instance, the Listing Obligations and Disclosure Requirements, or LODR. That's what forces companies to be open and honest about what's going on. The insider trading regulations, well, that's what stops people from using non-public information to make an unfair profit. Every single one of these rules is designed to protect a different part of the market and, ultimately, to protect your money.
Right, but what happens when somebody decides to ignore these rules and break them anyway? Well, this is where SEBI's role as a tough enforcer becomes really, really clear. And trust me, the penalties for cheating the system are designed to hurt.
Just take a look at these figures. For really serious stuff like insider trading or fraud, we are not talking about a simple slap on the wrist. The fines can go up to a mind-boggling 25 crore rupees, or 3 times whatever profit was made from the scam, whichever amount is higher. That sends a pretty powerful message. Crime does not pay.
Okay, seeing numbers in a table can feel a little abstract, so let's make this really, really clear.
25 crore rupees. That's the potential penalty for fraudulent trades. It's a number so big that it's designed to make absolutely anyone think twice before trying to cheat the system.
And that's not even the whole story. On top of the massive fine, SEBI can also demand that you pay back up to 3 times the profit you made. So it's not just a penalty. It's designed to completely wipe out any financial gain you could have possibly made from breaking the rules. Now, it's easy to think these massive penalties are reserved for those who are deliberately trying to commit fraud. And yeah, the law definitely goes after people who knowingly fake records or hide information. But here's the crucial part. You don't have to be a villain to get in trouble. Simply failing to comply with SEBI's directions can also lead to huge fines. The system demands that everyone plays by the rules, period. Okay, so we've covered the law, the powers, the eye-watering penalties, but let's bring it all back home. Why should any of this actually matter to you, the individual investor trying to grow your wealth? At the end of the day, it's actually pretty simple. Because of SEBI and the SEBI Act, the market is just fundamentally a safer place for you to invest. Companies can't just sweep bad news under the rug. Insiders can't just get away with using secrets for personal gain. The rules create a much more level playing field, giving retail investors like you and me a fighting chance. And all of that builds the confidence we need for a healthy, growing economy.
The SEBI Act back in 1992 was a total game changer for our markets. But let's be real, the world of finance never stands still. We're now dealing with AI, crypto, and trading that happens in microseconds. The challenges today are way more complex. So the big question for the future isn't if we need a guardian, but how that guardian has to adapt and evolve to keep us all safe in this wild new financial world.